Alright everybody, welcome back, and today I'm giving you my thoughts on Smackdown. This is kind of a two-part thing. I don't know, it'll be like a mixture of it. It's what I think about Smackdown and the oversized roster. Okay, so WWE only had Raw up until 1999. Then they created Smackdown, which was a counterpart for Raw, and SmackDown grew into its own thing, eventually had its own championship, and was giving Raw a run for its money. You know, I'll be honest, back in the day, I liked SmackDown more than Raw. That's definitely not the case now, but my point is, SmackDown used to be something special. SmackDown used to be good. It used to be entertaining. It used to have a purpose on this earth. Now it just doesn't. It really doesn't. SmackDown today is no better than fucking Main Event or fucking Superstars. It's really not. You can't say any differently. There's no point to have it anymore. Just have Raw. Raw's their only main fucking focus. They don't give a fuck about SmackDown. All they have is jobber matches on there. No big names on SmackDown besides Roman Reigns, but who gives a fuck about him? Or Kevin Owens. I feel bad for Kevin Owens and them having to wrestle on that piece of shit. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is SmackDown could be so much better. SmackDown could still be a great show, but they fucked it up. Like they did everything else, okay? And why does Raw and SmackDown have to have the same stage? This is just a little inquiry that I wanted to bring up. Okay, back in the day, Raw had, a normal setup stage, and SmackDown had this weird thing where it had this oval-shaped screen, and I don't know how to describe it, but it was different. And then Raw had the slanted Titantron thing. It was pretty cool, and SmackDown had the fist, which was badass. I loved the fist. I wish they would bring the fist back. And then they changed from the fist to the exact same fucking stage as Raw, which let a lot of people down. They're like, now SmackDown really isn't as different. But they were, because SmackDown had talent that Raw didn't have. SmackDown had its own championship. There was reason to actually watch SmackDown. Stuff actually happened that mattered on SmackDown, okay? Back in the day, Undertaker was only on SmackDown. If you wanted to see people like Undertaker, Batista, Rey Mysterio, people like that, you had to watch SmackDown because they were never on Raw. They're not combined brands like they are now. Okay? And that gave people a reason to watch SmackDown. Also, they had good matches on SmackDown. SmackDown and Raw were basically the same thing. They were the same caliber. SmackDown was on the same level as Raw. But I don't know what happened, but SmackDown is nothing now. And I have no idea why. SmackDown had exclusive people, and it had the World Heavyweight Championship. Raw had exclusive people, and it had the WWE Championship. And it gave SmackDown more of a purpose, more meaning, more of a reason to watch. But nowadays, there's no reason to have it. It doesn't have its own championship anymore. It doesn't have exclusive people. And it's all because they combined the title. See, SmackDown had the World Heavyweight Championship until John Cena fucked it up and won the World Heavyweight title. And then they combined it in 2013 to make the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And after that, SmackDown was pretty much fucked. Because since they did that, both titles stay on Raw. Then they combined it into one championship. And now there's no titles on SmackDown. See, the way the titles used to be, it would be the WWE title, the Intercontinental title, and the World Tag Team title, and the Women's title. The Divas title on Raw. Okay? And then on SmackDown, it would be the World Heavyweight Championship, the United States Championship, the WWE Tag Team Championship, and the Women's Championship. Both shows were even. But it just seems like everything went to Raw and SmackDown got shit on. And I really don't understand why. Like I said, I used to love SmackDown more than Raw. And, I would love to see SmackDown make a comeback. Here's how I would reinvent SmackDown. Well, before I do that, here's what they fucking need to do. They need to split the brands up again. They really do. They need to split the titles up. Bring the World Heavyweight title back. Okay? Have the WWE title on Raw and the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown like you did before. Change the arena to something better or turn it back into the Fist. Okay? Have people exclusively on SmackDown. And SmackDown will have a purpose again. But the way SmackDown is now, they could get rid of SmackDown and it wouldn't really matter. Even though they're never going to, they really don't need it. Because all the big talent and everything goes on Raw. You never see Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, The Rock, John Cena. Well, maybe John Cena, but Undertaker, The Rock, Brock Lesnar, people like that. They ain't never going to SmackDown again. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. Why? Because they have no reason to. More people watch Raw than SmackDown, and that's a fact. So another thing, since the brands are mixed, and WWE keeps bringing all these people in, and they already have all these people there, the roster is becoming oversized. And even though Raw is 3 hours, they still can't fit everybody on there. And that's why they put some of the people on SmackDown. But what I'm saying is just don't have all the good people, all the big stars on Raw. Split it in half. Have a Raw roster and a SmackDown roster like they had back in the day. Go a couple big stars on SmackDown, a couple big stars on Raw. Good wrestlers on SmackDown, good wrestlers on Raw. That's all they need to do to make SmackDown good again. But they just won't fucking do it. I don't understand. I don't understand why they combined everything in the first place. If you're gonna combine everything, just get rid of fucking SmackDown. Then it's gonna be your fault when your roster's too big and you can't have everybody wrestle. Then the wrestlers are gonna get mad because they ain't getting no TV time, and then the wrestlers are gonna start leaving, and then you're gonna be like, I don't understand why they left. We gave them this opportunity. Well, you didn't really give them anything because you weren't putting them on TV. So, what they need to do, split the rosters in half, separate the brands, separate the titles, which means World Heavyweight title, Intercontinental title, and that will go to SmackDown. Okay, and and separate the tag team titles. How about that? Well, let's see, the tag team title, that might, I don't know, because they don't really have that many good teams. I don't really know what to say about that, but this could work, okay? And change the stage. I don't know what WWE's problem is with stages. They use the same stage. Okay, the stage setup they have for Raw, they use it for SmackDown, Main Event, Superstars, Royal Rumble, Fastlane, Elimination Chamber, Battleground, Payback, SummerSlam, Night of Champions, Survivor Series, TLC, Tribute to the Troops. The only arena that they ever changed the stage is WrestleMania. That's it. I don't understand why. Back in the day, every pay-per-view, every show had its own unique stage design, and that's what made the pay-per-views different. That's what made the pay-per-views cool. On the games, I always like picking different pay-per-views because the arenas look cool. The stages look cool. But now, every single fucking stage is exactly the same. Just with a different logo. That's it. I don't know if they're trying to save money that way. I don't know, but it really sucks. You know, it makes it seem too basic. You know, I don't. WWE, you need to fix SmackDown. If you're not going to fix SmackDown, just get rid of it. I don't want to see SmackDown die. I really don't. I want to see SmackDown make a comeback. I want to see SmackDown be a kick-ass show again like it was. I want to see SmackDown have some meaning. I want to see SmackDown have a title again. I want to see SmackDown have a good roster. And if that happens, then maybe we'll get better matches on Raw, and everything would work out. That's what I want. But it's just in my opinion. You can agree with me or you can disagree with me, but the fact of the matter is, SmackDown it is nothing. SmackDown is nothing now. SmackDown is the same as main event, just an hour longer. It's the same as Superstars. It's the same as, I don't know, the fuck ever else they got. They probably got some other stupid ass show. But what I'm saying is SmackDown sucks, okay? It's just terrible that SmackDown has been demeaned from being the second show that they made to becoming its own staple. The Rock made SmackDown. SmackDown used to have people like Undertaker, The Rock, Stone Cold. All the big names used to go on SmackDown as well. SmackDown even had its own TLC match. The Hardys, the Dudleys, and Chris Jericho, and Chris Benoit. And yes, I'm saying Chris Benoit. I'm allowed to say Chris Benoit's name because I can. But anyway, SmackDown has had big matches, but the problem is SmackDown is just it went from that to nothing. Okay? The last big name I remember on SmackDown is when The Rock went there. One time. The Rock went there. And that was in like 2013 or 2014. And it was like, I don't know if it was the last time, but I remember it was The Rock, and he was talking to Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes. But SmackDown is just a joke. It's really a joke. I mean, you got Jerry Lawler and some random commentator there. I heard the guy's commentary is actually pretty good. But, I mean, I would rather listen to them than Michael Cole. You guys already know that. But it's just WWE, its main focus is Raw, which, now that I think about it, how's their main focus Raw when they don't even give a shit about Raw? I don't know. WWE makes no sense. Anything they do makes absolutely no sense. And anything that makes sense, they don't do it, so I don't know. That's really all I got to say about it. If SmackDown isn't going to make a comeback, if it's not going to get better, if they're not going to split the brands up, split the titles up, give SmackDown its own roster, make SmackDown have a point, a purpose, make it have a reason to exist, then just fucking get rid of the show. I hate saying that because I like SmackDown, but if it's just going to be the way it is now for the rest of the time, then just fucking get rid of it. You know what? Why don't you fucking get rid of SmackDown, Superstars, and Main Event? Just have Raw. Just have Raw, because that's all you want to focus on is Raw, even though you really don't. And Main Event and Superstars is only on the network, so put SmackDown on the network while you're at it. And eventually Raw is going to be on the network too. Well, actually, no, it won't, because it's the longest weekly episodic television show in history. Bullshit. No one gives a fuck, Michael Cole. Stop saying that shit. I'm gonna guarantee the SmackDown will probably be on the network someday, but WWE, you really need to save SmackDown, because the way it looks, it's on its last legs. Well, I hope you guys agree with me, and I hope SmackDown gets saved, because I really don't want it to die out, and I hope it goes back to its old ways. Thanks for watching, everybody.